Okay guys, so we're looking at types of average today, focusing on mean, median, mode, and range. So starting off by looking at the mean, the most common way of calculating averages. The way we calculate that is we add up all the numbers in the group we're looking at, and we divide by how many there are. So if we're looking at a group of 9 children, and we're looking at the number of their siblings, and one child had 1 sibling, one had 6, a few of them had 2, you get the idea, you can see the numbers there. We want to add all of those numbers up. So maybe if you want to quickly pause this video, add up those numbers, and then divide the answer by 19, okay? So if we look at the answer, divide the answer by 9, There we go. So if I add it up, it's 19, and then I do 19 divided by 9, giving 2.11 siblings on average. Okay, so that's the mean value. And again, I've calculated that by adding together all of the numbers and then dividing by how many there are. So I added them up, which made 19, and I divided it by 9, which made 2.11. We then got the median. So for median, we arrange the numbers from lowest to highest, and then we find the middle value, okay? So I've got them just there. That's the same numbers as before, but I've arranged them from lowest to highest. When I'm doing these, I sometimes find it easy to sort of do this as we go. So I cross out a number from the end and the beginning. And we can see there that doing that, it leaves me with 2 being the middle and therefore the median number. Just really important when you're doing median, you must arrange the numbers from lowest to highest order first, or highest to lowest actually, it doesn't matter, but you must arrange them in order before you try and find it out. So yeah, that way 2 is the median number. So to find the mode, the next one, you find the number that appears the most times, all right? So if we look at those numbers, same as before, 1, 6, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 0. The number that appears the most times is 2. It appears 4 times. Okay, so 2 is our mode. And then finally, we've got the range. And if we're finding the range, we want to subtract the smallest number from the biggest number. So the smallest number is 0, the biggest number is 6. 6 minus 0 gives you 6. So that's our range. Just some extra information. So if you're trying to calculate the median, but you have an even number of values, you need to find the mean of the 2 middle numbers. So if I show you again for these, so if I get rid of a number at the beginning and the end again, so now I'm left with 2 numbers in the middle, 7 and 8. So what I need to do now is I need to find the mean of them. So I can add them together, makes 15, and divide by 2 to make 7.5. Sometimes it may be really easy. You may be able to just tell what's in the middle of those 2 numbers without doing that, but if it is a harder one, that's the way you do it. And sometimes when you're doing the mode, there may be no number that appears the most common, so just put no mode if that happens. Now, just for remembering what these are, I always remember it as mode has MO for most often, so that's the number that appears the most often. Median sounds a bit like medium, so the middle, and then mean is just the other one that's left. Maybe you could say it's the hardest one to work out, so it's mean when you're asked to do it. I don't know, whatever works for you to remember it. Anyway, what I want you to do now is I've got a group of numbers there. What I've used is I've got the numbers of games that teams in the AFL have won so far. So you've got 8 all the way down to 0, 8 for Port Adelaide, 0 for the Port Adelaide Crows. So what I want you to do is pause this video and quickly work out the mean, median, mode, and range, and then I'll take you through the answers. Okay, so can't get my post-it note off. There we go. So the mean, I've got it there. If we add up all of that, it comes to 80. We divide 80 by 18, meaning the mean value is 4.4. So on average, teams win 4.4 games, which obviously doesn't really make sense, but you get that with mean. Sometimes you get a decimal value. So 4.4 is the mean for the number of games won this season. For the median, I've arranged them in order. And you'll find here, because it's an even number, that 4 and 5 are in the middle. I'll quickly show you that if I take away 1 from the beginning and the end each time. So 4 and 5 are in the middle. Again, if I calculate that, 4 plus 5 is 9, divided by 2 gives me 4.5. The mode, so the number that appears the most times is 5. 5 appears 5 times. So 5 different teams have won 5 games, making that the mode. And finally the range, 8 minus 0, because the highest number was 8 and the lowest number was 0. So 8 minus 0 gives me a range of 8. Just a final point, mean and median are the most common types of average. Mean is usually the most representative of the true value, but sometimes if there's a really high or a really low value, it can really distort it. So for example, if you were calculating the mean number of rooms in buildings on a street, and most of the buildings on that street were houses, but then there was also a hospital, that would significantly increase the mean. Because you'd be adding together all the rooms of the home, so you might have a few with 4, 5, 6, 3, 2, 1, whatever. Then you get the hospital, which would have, hundreds. When you put that into your mean, that would really, really significantly alter the mean. It doesn't give a very representative value. So when you've got cases like that, where you've got a number that's significantly bigger than most of them or significantly smaller than most of them, median is much better because median doesn't get as affected by very high or very low numbers. So anyway, there'll be some tasks on Google Classroom around mean, median, mode, and range. And I'll upload this document later as well, so you can have a look at it in your own time as well. So thank you.